Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here in Manchester. I had a Quigg vs Carroll press conference. With me I've got Sonny Edwards. Sonny, you've got nothing to do with this show, but obviously you're here supporting your gym, your stablemate Dalton Smith. But before we talk about him, let's talk about you. Last time out, your hands. You post some x-rays about your hands after your last fight. I mean, how are they now?
Well, I've still got to rest them for another 4 weeks. There's no punching. I've got a follow-up ultrasound on the 11th of February, and then my last sort of like outpatient appointment on the 26th. So after that, I'm going over to the Vegas for the Wilder Fury fight. So
I'll see you there.
Yeah, so coming back from that, and then I should be in camp. I want to get out in May. Obviously I've only been out during 4 weeks, but it won't be no comeback fight or anything. I want to get straight back in to defend my title. It's disappointing, it's frustrating, because I'm one of them people that come out and I like to spar. Like, even when I'm out of camp, I'm out of shape, I'll still want to spar, punch something like. So it's been a bit frustrating, you know. I've kept myself away from the gym as far as like the boxing sessions are going. I tried a couple, but I just couldn't really like get the motivation or energy. So I've been doing a lot of my running, which is good, because ever since I got the ankle injury, I've kind of needed to pick that up, but I've been hiding behind, oh yeah, I've got a bad ankle sort of thing, a bit more than I should. So I'm just getting my condition up running, and it's going good, you know. And now I'm just sort of ticking away, keeping up with all the other lads, and then hopefully outperform me.
Is it frustrating for you not being able to punch? I mean, like you said, you mentioned that you do like to punch. Like, even when you come up to Glasgow when you're out of camp, you've been sparring like guys like Cash Farouk, you know, the guys around your weight up there. I mean, how frustrating is it for you?
Like, when I've had one hand before, I was helping Lee for his fight with Scott Allen. And literally, like, anyone can vouch in the gym, I did 3 weeks of sparring 8, 10, 12 rounds with one hand. Do you know what I mean? Because I have the natural ability and still to make it hard enough for him and good round. And it just gives me another thing to think about, because if your hand goes in a fight, then you're going to have to, like I've had to. I mean, admittedly, my last fight, both my hands were gone from the second round. But
do you think you could have got your stoppage in your last fight if your hands hadn't gone?
I don't know. It's like, and it's easy to keep saying all stuff like that. I think when my right hand went first against Guaneros at York Hall, I think I would have got him out there if it went for my hand. But I don't know about Marcel, because I did hit him still with some clean, like, solid shots, and he didn't really budge all too much. I think the main thing that happened to him, I think I was outboxing him for the most of the fight. Obviously I got put down, but it was the championship rounds, and just before that, maybe after he put me down, round 8 to 12, he kind of did very little. I think he blew out a little bit, and after he hurt me and landed a big shot, he didn't really get near to anything like that again, and I think he kind of got a bit disheartened, because obviously that, I've obviously watched the fight, and after I get up, from that literal moment to the end of the fight was my best period of the fight. It kind of switched me on, got me back on doing what I do well, which is boxing, rather than, you know, sort of standing there one shot out and trying to like let hands go. But yeah, that was a weird one. It was a weird fight for a few reasons, but obviously it paid off. I'm British champion now. I'm in a place where I hold at super flyweight and flyweight most of the bargaining tools, you know, outside of the world champion. And I'm just interested to see where that's going to go.
I've got to ask why you're the British title. You've been, in the past, it's well known, you've been vocal on Twitter about this, that you find it hard to get British opponents to fight you. As being the British champion, you know you've got to fight 3 times to win it outright. Is that a goal for you, and how hard is that going to be for you?
That is the immediate goal, to try and defend it 3 times, you know, voluntary, mandatory, voluntary. I said before, you know, I'll give Marcel a rematch, but as he's English champion, and if he fights one more time and puts in for it, he'll probably be my mandatory again, because like I said, there's no one else has been too forthcoming even since. So I've got a voluntary next that I'll probably free up with someone. I don't know who. But it should be quite easy.
Can you get up for these fights? Sorry for cutting you off there, Sonny. Can you get up for these fights? Are you not itching now to get these bigger names? These names that are going to maybe water your mouth a little bit more?
Of course.
No disrespect, obviously.
No, of course. But I've got, as you know, a very, very good management team behind me. So I listen to, you know, we've had these talks. I was told in no uncertain terms, in September, after I boxed Guaneros, I went to Dubai, had meetings over there, and I was told, look, if you say the word, we can get you a world title fight in your next fight. And that was it. But if you listen to us, let us manage you properly, learn from the mistakes that was made with your brother, with his eagerness. You know, a carrot was waving in front of his nose and he snatched it up. I'm trying to avoid that for myself, because the way like my finances are going, the way position of my career is. I'm in a great place, so I don't really need to rush it all too much. But don't get me wrong, I want to fight for a world title sooner rather than later. I do. I don't care which world champion it is, and obviously I say this loosely, but I don't care if I lose. Like I would not take the fight over terms of losing. I just want to get paid fairly and relatively, and just keep building. I'm very confident. There's not a single person, flyweight or super flyweight, that I wouldn't take a fight with. And there's some killers at these weights. Like let's be real. There's some absolute killers, and a lot of people might sort of strike me off over my last performance. Oh, imagine if it was someone but no, I don't really pay too much mind.
That might be a blessing though, Sonny man. People might think you've got weaknesses now, and they might think,
I mean,
give me them.
The only people that have actually called me out is, since my last fight, is Ricky Little, who's the Southern Area champion that my brother stopped in about 90 seconds. And I thought he was a journeyman, and apparently he's 5-2 or something. And he was getting those people to comment on my thing, and his bird was DMing me. And obviously we couldn't be all for that, but I just don't think the board would even pass that fight, because like, let's have it real. He's fucking shit, man. But why wouldn't I defend my British title for the easiest one? And I mean, and I've heard there's whispers, you know, Harvey Horn and Joe Mafosa are fighting in April, and I'm not sure how much the winner of that will actually want to, but I think they're going to try and push him towards me. And all I'm going to say is that I've spent the last, 14 months, 15 months taking risks, hard fights, building a profile, been very, very busy, like
on Twitter as well.
Yeah, I've been busy. No wonder my hands are hurting, going to do it all the time. But so like I've taken a lot of risk, and now I've watched boxing on BT like 5 times in a row. Like, I've built my platform and where I am. So if these lot think they can just, have very lackluster performances against journeymen, have no actual fights of note on their record, fight each other, and then think they can get good purses to fight me, it's not happening. Don't get me wrong, it can. I'll fight them, but I'm going to have to get paid well to do so, because what do they actually offer me? Neither of them are fought on TV. Neither of them have any titles. Like, I know Harvey he struggled to pick up the WBO European against, like a low-level domestic fighter, and I think he won by 2 points or something. So like, these aren't really ones that interest me, but if people want to see them, then show me that in the purse offers. Don't be trying to lowball me, because like what people don't know is when the negotiations for the Marcel Braithwaite fight was happening, and I wanted the British title. They obviously rejected the fight at first. They wanted more money, and I was getting paid what I got paid for a 10-round international fight that I was meant to be fighting. I ended up fighting a 12-round British title fight with Needle, and I said, look, I don't want a penny more. Just make sure this fight happens. Like, I don't want a penny more. Just make sure this fight happens. So I've fought for less than I could have a couple of times.
Do you think you have to do this more often now until you get to that sort of like world stage?
Not really, because if I'm fighting, I'm going to be on TV. My purse is going to keep going up. My stock and my profile, and as long as I'm performing, then I actually could do like what we've seen fighters do, go 20-0, 21-0, 22-0, fighting absolutely no one, just easy fights, and still get there. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to do that, because I like being motivated by goals and challenges. That is just me. Like, you'll see the best out of me. I know every boxer in the history of boxing has ever said this, but I'm not one of them fighters that are an on-top fighter. Like, really, I think when I'm expected to do much better than I should, that's when I kind of not take my eye off the ball, but I start trying to force things a little bit. But when I'm up against it, that's when you really see like that little bit extra that I've got. And that's what I'm looking forward to. But I do understand that professional boxing is a business. If I was just here for the love of the sport, then I would have stayed amateur. Do you know what I mean? So I listen to my management team.
You've got to make your money as well.
Yeah, of course, and I can keep chucking all the cliches. I've got a child to provide for and all of this, but at the end of the day, like, I remember I come out of winning from the British title, and I think BT interviewed me. You've won this belt. How much does it mean to you to win this belt for your mum? And I was like, if I'm honest, like, I didn't win that belt for my mum. You know what I mean? Let me be frank. Like, I think a lot of boxers, they struggle with they say things and be a certain person that they think is that people want them to be. That will make them more loved or make them more liked. Because really, I kissed my mum on the way to the ring. I got in the ring, won the British title. Come and see her after. I won that British title for me. Do you know what I mean? And I've got 6 belts. My mum don't know the difference between a British title and a WBO European or an IBF and international or this or that. You know what I mean? So it's nothing to do with that. It's really now building my future and my family's future. And yeah, it's alright people being proud of me and all of this, but I know what I'm capable of and what I'm in this game for. and that's what drives me more than anything.
I've got to ask as well. You mentioned that you're quite good in the old Twitter game. I mean, Casimero and Inoue, you mentioned their fight was coming up. Was it April?
Vegas, I think.
Vegas, and you put a wee tweet out. Looks like you were toying with the idea of going out to Vegas to watch the fight.
I would love to, but that's as a fan. Come on, let's be serious.
You're not going to sit ringside and call them out with the winner.
No way. They'd both chin me within seconds, man. Them man are scary.
Yeah.
Casimero, he's obviously close to my heart. You know, he done Charlie, and he's been a great champion, and so someone I've known of. But I've also been onto Inoue, and there'd be proof for someone to look for it. Like I've been onto Inoue like from early, you know, from his earlier days. Like I know, fun fact of the day, I've beat someone in the amateurs that beat Inoue. Get that around your head.
That's going to be my title.
Yeah, Zakapov, man, from Kazakhstan, in my first fight for GB. He was a 2013 world champion, 3 times Olympian, already qualified for Rio, like one of the top ranked fighters. He'd beat Inoue. Obviously Inoue was younger.
Yeah.
But when I was 20 years old, I beat him.
Notch, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And if you
click
the amateur record on BoxRec for Berjan Zakapov, you'll see Inoue win and Son Edwards lose. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll take with that as well. But obviously, Inoue is special.
But who wins in, Casimero, Inoue?
It's mad because I'm actually like I've been on record before saying I think Inoue arguably is pound #1. Arguably before the Donaire fight, he didn't have the best performance, but I rate him that highly. Like his wins against Rodriguez, was it Payano, like icing them out, and James McDonald icing 3 world like champions or world level fighters out in a matter of 4 rounds. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But Casimero, man, look what he did to Tete. And I won some money on that one. I knew he was going to beat Tete. I knew I was sat ringside front row for that one, and I was buzzing as well. But that is a fight where there's very few people at that weight that will be able to hit as hard as Casimero. And pound for pound punch wise, I think he's a lot harder puncher than Donaire is, especially at this stage in his career. So, you know, Donaire showed some chinks in his armour, and Casimero is good at finding range and maintaining the range, looking like he's uninterested. Like everyone thought, oh, Tetty's outboxing this first round because he was going away, he was looking away, walking away, and then all of a sudden he just throws a shot out of nowhere, catches you cold. And that's what he does, and he comes from weird angles, throws, and as soon as he gets you hurt, you stay hurt because he don't give you a second. And it makes Charlie's 10 rounds defeat to him look great now, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
And do you know what? Like, I don't know, a lot of people say Charlie ain't got chin and whatnot, but he took some heavy shots in that fight. And look what one shot did to Tete, he couldn't recover. Charlie took one of them in the 4th round, an uppercut. I can remember it. Charlie's legs dipped and somehow he got through the round. But yeah, Casimero is just scary powerful.
Yeah,
and obviously he'll be more powerful, I reckon, at bantam because look at the size of his legs, man. The calves on him. He's like, it is crazy. But that's going to be a great fight. One for the fans. Like, I'm going to say, like, I'm not gutted because obviously the Fury Wilder fight is going to be like, unreal. But like, if I knew this was coming up after, I probably would have went to that instead.
Well, you're in Vegas for Fury versus Wilder.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean. That's what I would have chosen.
What's your thoughts on that fight? If you can break it down for me, and who wins?
Well, if you look at the last one, I think, and with the shape improvement since and the lifestyle, I think Fury's got a great chance. I don't know. When I try and read these fights, I try and put myself in the fighter's shoes, and I think Fury, I don't think has ever been hit by someone the way Wilder has hit him ever in his life. And if that's something that goes into his head straight away, then that could really like determine the outcome. But at the same time, Wilder will think I've hit him in the 12th round with like the cleanest boom left hook on the way down. People shouldn't be getting up for that. So I don't know.
People
it's just such
a
people shouldn't, like, people like, I mean, we're in a dangerous sport. I mean, and the way is, I don't know. It's I would like to see Fury do it for British boxing, you know, for MDK as well. And he's always been good to me. You know, well, I say good to me, like I don't really know him like that, but he's always said hello, been respectful, and been ringside at a couple of my fights. And but I am a fan of Wilder as well. It's like a Inoue Casimero.
Like, gun to your head then, Sonny. Who wins? Quickly, before this press conference starts, who wins?
I've got a feeling Wilder's going to win. I've got a feeling. I don't know why. I don't know. I just think if someone hit me the way that Fury got hit in that first fight at the end,
Fury got
I'd have. Of course he did. Of course he did. But still, like, I'm still having flashbacks about Marcel putting me on my ass, and he ain't even got no knockouts. So if someone hit me like that, I don't know, you probably have post-traumatic stress disorder, I think. I'd be going to sleep and having flashbacks, I don't know. But Fury can definitely put on a clinic and win. But I just feel like at heavyweights, back in the 12-round fight is a hard thing to do. Like, I don't think no one thought it was going to go 12 rounds last time, really. So I don't know if for heavyweights it's hard, because it just takes one shot, and if he gets it earlier, I just don't know. I've got the feeling that Wilder has been more impressive in his last fight since then. But Fury's one of them fighters, he's got to get up for something, like, clearly, because like, if it's the Fury that got in against Wilder, then it doesn't look great for him. But then again, he wouldn't box the same. And then you hear rumours that he's coming for a knockout in this fight, and it's all whispers, smoke and mirrors, and he'll probably get in there and try and put a boxing clinic on for 12 rounds, which I hope that's what I want to see. I don't want to see him. But it's hard as well, because he thinks if I didn't beat him how I beat him last time, if I didn't get it on the cards, how many ways really is he going to beat him on points then? Because he went over there, everyone pretty much thought it was like, what, maybe at a push like 8 rounds to 4 with the 2 knockdowns, so 8 rounds to 6, you know what I mean, at like a push, and he didn't get it. So if it goes on points, but now he's a much bigger star, Fury, so you know, maybe the brown envelopes will be not a bit more balanced out this time.
You're obviously lying about that.
Allegedly.
You're joking about that.
I'm
Sonny,
I'm joking.
I won't keep much longer. Live in News 5L TV,
no,
hopefully I'll catch up with you soon when your hands are bit and you're ready for a fight.
Yeah, no
Cheers,
way.
man. Cheers, buddy.
Gold Star Promotions is proud to present Floyd Money Mayweather. The man himself is coming to the UK for his UK tour, February and March 2020. For all info and tickets, goldstarpromotions.co.uk.